Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I would recommend Angel Care to anybody. They have really helped me regain my strength.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
I couldn't have survived this without Angels Care.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to our Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're on site at the Ellis County Courthouse at 13th and Fort, under construction with the renovation and the restoration of the Ellis County Courthouse. With our guest today, committee member Guy Windholz, also committee member and former state senator Alan Schmidt. Welcome to our guest today on Community Connection as we talk about a project for restoration with the goal of renovation. And I said that just backwards, didn't I? Preservation. That's what we want to say. I want to talk first of all, if we could, with Alan about the project itself, but first, let's get a little background on the Ellis County Courthouse. Alan?
Well, Mike, this is 2017 is going to be the 75th anniversary of this courthouse, and as you know, when you look at Ellis County or you look at any counties, and I traveled a lot of counties in western Kansas in my ventures out there in the politics, it is the center place of a county. So we're looking at this courthouse and the renovation that's going on inside, and we've determined that there's some things on the outside that maybe need some work to preserve the look that this had and maybe take it back to some of the original looks because it's a centerpiece of the county. So we're doing a nonprofit community-based, all pretty much volunteer contribution program to help put back the face of the courthouse up here, and we'll explain in some detail, hopefully, what exactly that entails.
And part of that project involves a restoration project, and for that, let's talk to Guy Windholz about how that got started. Guy, if you would, tell us about the project itself. What's the plan?
Well, the plan is to, as Alan said, is to restore the integrity of the courthouse. This being built in 1942, it was a works projects administration program to get people employed, again, coming out of the Depression. It came at a time when we were getting out of one war. We have not yet faced the Pearl Harbor War to come apart, and then also the Depression. So this effort to get the people working again to support their families, this was created, and it carries a lot of history. It's not so much a building that has over 100 years. I have obviously not. It's 75 years old, but it carries with it the people that worked on that project. That's put a lot of sweat and labor and took that limestone dust home to lunch, is what I always said. They work hard and feverishly, and I think we should honor their efforts and maintain this structure as best we can. And that's our goal of this particular project.
Well, I think probably those of us who are familiar with limestone know that over a period of time with weather and such, that's the biggest enemy it has.
Indeed it has, and the granite also has suffered tremendously from it. We've probably lost 50% of the granite deck that comes outside the doors of the front, and fortunately we are gathering the bids to be able to do this. We want the best people to do this because they did the best job back then. They were very particular. If you messed up on a stone, WPA didn't accept it. It was rejected. And we want to have a first-class project on this. Insofar as that even the granite that we're going to get to help replace those things will come from the same quarry as 1942. So we're going to secure the granite from that. So it sort of is a restoration, because we're using materials that were originally used in the structure of that building.
So this project then is now underway. Who's involved in this, Guy?
We came together with a core group. Alan has the names of those people and the significance. We looked at people that were historically minded and had some also same passions for the courthouse that we had. And Alan, who were those?
Well, I've got, of course, Kaylin Phillips is in here, and you can fill in the historical significance of Kaylin being involved. And of course, Don Westfall from Ellis County. Ellis County Historical Society, I'm sorry, yeah, Don Waldschmidt, Phil Martin, Alberta Klaus, and Guy has been kind of taking the lead of this whole thing, and then myself, Alan Schmidt. But you know what? We welcome more people to participate in this, so this is a community effort.
Yeah, that's the whole point of our visit with these guys, is to, first of all, highlight the committee and try to get you involved as well. And it could be either financial support or it could be as participation support. So that's what we're doing today on our Community Connection. So, Guy, you've got some people here that go back with quite a history of Ellis County.
Indeed they do. In the case of Kaylin Phillip, her father was a county commissioner and her grandfather was a county commissioner, and he was one of the commissioners in 1942 that really had the guts to go inside and say, you know what, we're going to do it right inside also. They brought in Tennessee marble that cost another $25,000 at that time, which was a gutsy move. He and a shoemaker and an Eland from Ellis were the commissioners at the time. Of course, we had an F.E. Carlene that came in after that. So there's a lot of history of the people that followed those guys. And I'm really proud that all of the living county commissioners currently, 11 of us, have all pledged support for this project. We're kicking it off with the first $5,000 as a contribution to it. It's so important for the people to buy into this program because someone out there, if you're a foundational family of this county, had somebody or some relative that worked in on that particular project. At the conclusion, I'd like to show you something that is going to help benefit our fundraising.
In addition, as Alan said earlier, the courthouse was the central part. Communities came together, and when they were formed, Alan, it was usually the churches and then the central courthouse.
Well, that's correct. I mean, you look at all of the communities out here in northwest Kansas, and I think that's the case. The courthouse, of course, the center of civic activity, still is to this day. And you know, in fact, when I was in the state senate, I was kind of fighting this battle a little bit of people wanting to consolidate counties and all that kind of stuff. But you know, these courthouses are important to the people in the community, and this is so central to us and so important to us. It's a symbol of our community, and that's one of the reasons that we want to preserve it. You know, we did the same thing with the road names in Ellis County. That's kind of significant. All our east-west roads and some of our significant roads north-south, we've named them for historical places in the county to retain that and to really honor the people who settled here and settled this community.
Well, now, Guy, the restoration project that's currently underway, the expansion of the Ellis County Courthouse, is a separate process from what we're involved with now, right?
It is indeed. That's a project that the current county commissioners had to develop and work on over a period of time. So we're not in any way connected with that. Our goal is to take this west side, which was not really the entry point. It was the east side that was the entry point originally when this whole square was developed. And so we're concentrating on preserving the west side so that it too does not further deteriorate. But also we want to maintain the integrity of the grounds and make sure that the landscaping is not so much updated, but just kept in good shape. The curbs here have deteriorated tremendously with rebar showing, and this is not conducive to a good appearance for the county and the city. And we want to maintain our presence on brochures that honor this courthouse, because to us it's as good as significant history. And irregardless of whether it be in a national registry, this is our history. We're hoping the people will buy into this program.
Well, and Guy, in addition to the limestone that's going to be redone for those repairs and such that'll need to be made, there are also the entranceway, and that also will need some attention, won't it?
And that speaks to the granite that I talked about earlier, with that being in bad conditions. And you may be seeing some slides related to that just have to be repaired, you know, and replaced. And once again, coming from the same quarry really excited me that we could have that happen. So, and then the most of the moisture damage was always confined to your low-lying areas because the moisture, the snow and everything would freeze, get in those cracks and bust that out. So with a lot of advice, I've got to give credit to Pete Felton, who I've pestered many times, and I've learned so much about limestone history. This man is a legend for history, and I've got to give him credit. He's a little shy on that thing, but without him guiding us, I consider him a guiding force in that we can do this right and proper.
That's very good tribute to Pete, because I like to think of him as a national art treasure, really.
Exactly.
In addition to, of course, our claim to fame here in Ellis County of so many of his originating works. So is there a goal, a monetary goal set up for this project, Guy?
Just off the top of my head, we've learned too that we might be able to possibly save some costs on the granite. We thought originally we might have to do the steps and the whole top landing. Our restoration company indicates to us that we could probably get by with not doing the steps, cleaning it properly, repositioning some of the stones. So we may see our costs drop in half there. So what we thought might be a $200,000 project, I think it's going to come in below that, but we want to be conservative enough that we can dress up these other issues that are here, and not forget there are in-kind services that people can provide us, or other communities and people in here. There's a lot of talent in Ellis County, and there's a lot of giving spirit in Ellis County. And when you ask people to rise to the occasion, Ellis County does it. A gentleman I talked to in another county one time, and says, "Oh, we got this project going on in Ellis County." He says, "You know, it ain't going to happen. Your valuation's down and stuff like that." Well, I parted ways. I wanted to go do lunch. And I just thought to myself and chuckled, you know, he doesn't know Ellis County. He doesn't know the people. He doesn't know the history. He doesn't know the resolve of what we can do when we want to get something done.
So to get involved in this particular project then, either as a volunteer, to join the committee, to make a financial obligation, contribution, what do they do?
Very simply, if you and Jeff there would like to address your check to the Ellis County Historical Society, that would be our depository for the funds.
Oh, believe me, Westfall has already hit us up many times about
okay,
that.
And that's part of his job and why he's valuable to us.
The fundraiser.
The fundraisers, those are always difficult, and it's tough because these businesses and stuff, they get a lot of demand placed on them and a lot of requests. But we're really resolved that this is a very, very important project. We can do it one more time and make this thing last another 75 years when you and I are gone.
Well, under 200,000 then, Alan, what kind of a goal, what timetable are the committee members looking at?
There's some significance in the historical events that are coming up in 2017. 75th anniversary of this courthouse. 150th anniversary of Ellis County, 150th anniversary of Fort Hays, 150th anniversary of Boot Hill and Rome, and I think I missed one. But 2017 is going to have a lot of activities that are related to the anniversary. So our timeline is to be done by then and make this part of that whole presentation when we celebrate those anniversaries. And that's why we're bringing in, or why the Historical Society has joined with us on this. We think this all goes together very well.
As you mentioned earlier, Guy, there are a couple of incentives for donations for this project.
There is indeed. Pete Felton, who has always had a good passion for the Ellis County Courthouse, has donated what they call a relief of a buffalo here, and this is very, very significant with his contribution, I think, to be able to have an opportunity to get this. No amount is too small. $1 adds up to the big dollars. And we're going to have a random drawing that will be a choice of one of the two here at the conclusion of our fundraising.
And Alan, you are holding the Bruce Burkholder painting.
That's correct. And if you look at this in some detail, did you say that Pete is in here?
Pete is actually on the back. That's the backside of Pete right there on that.
All right.
With
so
the hat.
that's right, with the hat.
Get him autographed by Pete too, if we can.
This is a great print.
And the donations then have an opportunity to win these two items then.
That's correct, and you never know, we might add more.
So the idea is restoration, first of all with preservation, toward the goal of having a living legacy right here since 1942.
You said it very well.
Alan Schmidt, Guy Windholz from the Ellis County Courthouse. They're our community connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.